of day, when the heat of a rolling wind can be turned away. An enchanted moment, and it sees me through. It's enough for this restless warrior just to be with you. And can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. There's a time for everyone, if they only learn that the twisting kaleidoscope moves us all in turn. There's a rhyme and reason to the wild outdoors, when the heart of this star-crossed forger beats in time with yours. And can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we've got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. I found a love for me, and darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Oh, I never knew you were that someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love. Now knowing what it was, how will I give you up this time? Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. And baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children alone. We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand. Be my girl, I'll be your man. I see my future in your eyes. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When I saw you in that dress, looking so beautiful, I don't deserve this. Darling, you look perfect tonight. No, no. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. I have faith in what I see. Now I know I have met an angel in person, and she looks perfect. I don't deserve this. You look perfect tonight. Days have made me older since the last time that I saw your pretty face. 1,000 lies have made me colder, and I don't think I can look at this the same. But all the miles that separate disappear now when I'm dreaming of your face. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, it's only you and me, yeah. The miles just keep rolling as the people leave their way to say hello. I've heard this life is overrated, but I hope that it gets better as we go. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, girl, it's only
Hey
you and
everyone,
me.
we got 2 minute, 1 minute, so I think everyone can open their camera.
Anywhere.
We're using the background of the Sumo 2. We just have 1 minute to technical admit all the participant. Technical dah boleh get ready for untuk share the screen lah. Okay, technical dah boleh share screen and we can to start to admit all the participants sebab dah 7.45.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our opening ceremony tonight. As we are about to begin, I would like to seek your cooperation in completing this opening ceremony. All participants are to check in by scanning the QR code shown on screen for attendance purposes. The link will also be given in the chat box. Kindly put your microphone on mute during the ceremony to avoid interruption. All participants are also advised to switch on your camera. If you encounter any problem during the event, do reach out to us by typing in the chat box. Thank you for your kind cooperation and attention. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our opening ceremony tonight. As we are about to begin, I would like to seek your cooperation in completing this opening ceremony. All participants are to check in by scanning the QR code shown on screen for attendance purposes. Link will also be given in the chat box. Kindly put your microphone on mute during the ceremony to avoid interruption. All participants are also advised to switch on their camera. If you encounter any problem during the event, do reach out to us by typing in the chat box. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our opening ceremony tonight. As we are about to begin, I would like to seek your cooperation in completing this opening ceremony. All participants are to check in by scanning the QR code shown on screen for attendance purposes. The link will also be given in the chat box. Kindly put your microphone on mute during the ceremony to avoid interruption. All participants are also advised to switch on your camera. If you encounter any problem during the event, do reach out to us by typing in the chat box. Thank you for your kind cooperation and attention. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our opening ceremony tonight. As we are about to begin, I would like to seek your cooperation in completing this opening ceremony. All participants are to check in by scanning the QR code shown on screen for attendance purposes. The link will also be given in the chat box. Kindly put your microphone on mute during the ceremony to avoid interruption. All participants are also advised to switch on your camera. If you encounter any problem during the event, do reach out to us by typing in the chat box. Thank you for your kind cooperation and attention. Assalamualaikum and good evening. I bid to the respectable Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Razif Shahril, Principal of Tunsai Nasir Residential College, the National University of Malaysia. The respectable Dr. Marniza binti Omar, Vice Principal of Tunsai Nasir Residential College, the National University of Malaysia. The respectable Mr. Vivekanan Matelagan, Director of Healthcare and International Culture Explorers, Tunsai Nasir Residential College, the National University of Malaysia, Residential College Fellows, Tunsai Nasir Student Executive Council, and all local and international participants. I am Siti Nabila, and on behalf of the HICE Committee, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate you taking your time off your busy schedules to join us today. To bless our ceremony, I would like to call upon Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Zaidun to recite the prayers and dua.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Ya Karim, Ya Wadud, we gather today to express our gratitude for your priceless grace. O Allah, make us your servants who are always grateful for a little favor, especially a blessing that is abundant for us. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, bless the journey of our opening ceremony today. You are all knowing that we are here, want to acquire your vast knowledge to develop our knowledge as your servant, whom you are pleased with. O Allah, bless our gathering. Give us your knowledge. Shine our hearts with your light and guidance. Hopefully, with it, we can easily accept and appreciate and practice it. Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram, give us the help from the unseen disease, peace of mind, strength of spirit. Hopefully, with it, we will able to face challenges, be competitive, and be able to elevate the dignity of ourselves, family, community, and country. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين يا رب العالمين.
Amin, Amin Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Zaidun, for the beautiful recitation. Ladies and gentlemen, Healthcare and International Culture Explorers, abbreviated as HICE, is organized mainly to build a bridge between local Malaysian students and international students through exchanging knowledge on various cultures and healthcare in respective countries. We have participants joining from India, United Kingdom, China, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, United Arab Emirates, Poland, Egypt, and Malaysia. From Vietnam, we have participants from the FPT University, while from the Philippines, we have 5 teams from the University of the Immaculate Conception. Next, from China, we have participants from Shanghai Institute of Technology. Also, we have participants from Vistula University, Poland. From the Middle East, we have participants from Alexandria University, Egypt. Next, from our neighborhood country, Indonesia, we have 4 groups, each from Universitas Islam Negeri Sunan Jati Bandung, Ahmad Dahlan University, Politeknik Kesehatan Kementerian Kesehatan Surakarta, and Institute Teknologi of 10 November. From South Asia, we have 1 group representing University Science Malaysia, Karnataka Lingayat Education, USM KLE. Next, from the United Kingdom, we have participants representing the King's College London. Last but not least, we have our local participants coming from the National University of Malaysia, University Science Malaysia, University Teknologi Mara, University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, University Malaysia Perlis, and University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to welcome all of you to the opening ceremony of Healthcare and International Culture Explorers. We are delighted to have you on board with us for this great event. it is time to hear from the director himself. I am pleased to welcome the respectable Mr. Vivekanand Mathialagan, Director of Healthcare and International Culture Explorers, to deliver the welcome speech. A round of applause to Mr. Vivekanand
Nabila. A very good evening, IB to respectable Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Razif Shahril, Principal of Tunshid Nasir Residential College, the respectable Dr. Marniza Binti Omar, Vice Principal of Tunshid Nasir Residential College, Residential College Fellows, Tunshid Nasir Students Executive Council, and all local and international participants. It is a true pleasure for me to welcome you to our very first global online event known as the Healthcare and International Culture Explorers, or shortly known as HICE. Before I go in deeper, I would like to thank all of you for joining us today in this remarkable event. I especially want to express my gratitude to our new friends from India, United Kingdom, Poland, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, China, Japan, United Arab Emirates, UAE, and also Egypt, which compromises of UKM Global Universities as well. I am very enormously pleased that you have accepted our invitation and decided to join us throughout these 15 days of journey. Although we are thousands of miles apart, we are close now more than ever. HICE started with a dream to unite, to bring down the wall and to build a bridge between countries, accompanied by a will to connect and a passion to learn. We came up with the idea of this program through the combination of international virtual exchange explorers. The main purpose of this event is to develop leadership skills and team spirit for the participants, and also for enhancing knowledge regarding health and culture development from different nations around the globe. The global event will start off with a casual yet meaningful sharing by our country representatives. These 15 days of events will continue on 22nd May, which is today, until 5th June 2021. Today is the day we begin to learn to look through the eyes of others, to find out and experience what the world is like from them. It is also the day we grow bigger than our differences and offer to everyone, regardless of historical rights and wrongs, a friendly welcome and outstretched hand. In the next few days, exciting events will take place. We have a cultural exchange presentation tomorrow and interesting global classes exchange in the upcoming days. I hope this event will bring benefit for all participants in improving soft skills, teamwork, and getting an insight of different cultures, health practices from around the globe. I also hope that the participants can grow their social networking and gain new friends that can share their experience, knowledge, and their culture. HICE has a few things to offer that are rare to find even from all over the world. The most common form of interaction on virtual platform is a webinar. We find that ineffective, and the amount of knowledge that actually reaches participants is very limited, as it is just a one-way interaction. Our purpose here is to create two-way interactions, which is more effective at exchanging information and better at keeping participants' commitment towards this program. As such, we are utilizing the concept of virtual explorers, where participants will be required to complete a few missions over the course of 4 days. Depending on the theme of the task, such as culture and health, participants in their respective group are to produce a video for each task given to them. And they are only qualified to the next task if they can submit their task in time. Their works will be promoted on our official Instagram account, and we believe that participants and even outsiders will be interested to watch their videos. We want to create more opportunities for the participants to share their real experience and to also learn from others more productively. The most important thing is that this program is going to be fun, and that's what we want. I would like to thank you all again for being us with today, and I hope you will remain with us until the very end. Your presence is highly appreciated in order to enliven the event. And as I end my speech today, the event has officially begun. Thank you.
Thank you to the respectable Mr. Vivekanand Matalagan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with pleasure that I introduce to you the Principal of Tun Said Nasir Residential College, the respectable Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Razif Shahril. Let us give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you, Nabila. Good evening to Dr. Maniza Omar, Vice Principal of Tun Said Nasir College, Mr. Vivekanand Matalagan, Director of Health and International Culture Explorers, Residential College Fellows, Tun Said Nasir Student Executive Council, and to all participants from Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, China, Vietnam, United Kingdom, India, Japan, Egypt, UAE, and Poland. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome I bid to all of you. It brings me great pleasure to be here today at the opening ceremony of the Health and International Culture Explorers. I am truly excited about our very first international event. Health and International Culture Explorers focuses on health and culture. It serves as a platform to share thoughts and knowledge on health issues while also discovering various cultural backgrounds. Together, we will gain in-depth knowledge about the various countries and their cultural background. HICE is coordinated by Tun Said Nasir Student Executive Council. This program first sparked at the back of their mind in September 2020. The original plan was to conduct a 3-day cultural festival. However, due to the current pandemic situation, they finally came up with a virtual exchange culture explorers program. Ladies and gentlemen, I agreed and supported this program because it could act as a medium for local and international participants to build a bridge and build a connection besides sharpening communication skills, social skills, and a team building spirit. I truly hope that this program will benefit all participants and provide you with an unforgettable experience. With that, thank you and see you soon.
Thank you to the respectable Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Razif Shahril for the wonderful speech. Without further ado, let us now proceed with an introduction video of healthcare and international.
H
I.
C E
Healthcare
and International
Culture
Explorers.
Together we are
HICE.
HICE is an international students virtual exchange program involving Malaysian and international students. In a group of 4, we provide the activities such as Viewpoint of Youngsters Worldwide, the Color of Faith Discrimination, Cross-Culturalism, and Global Classes Exchange. In terms of fun part, we have Global Treasure Hunt series such as Fitness Challenge, Vogue Challenge, Health Cooking Challenge, and Tour Challenge. For individuals, don't worry, you have Performance of Cultural Arts, Fashion OOTD Challenge, and Malaysian Tour Challenge.
Salam sejahtera.
Ni hao.
Anevarukkum vanakkam.
Konnichiwa.
안녕하세요.
Pack your bags.
And start your engine.
See you soon!
Wow, wow, wow. Such an amazingly decorated and what do you guys think about it? Can we get a little thumbs up in the chat box? I hope that you guys are excited because I already excited to start our journey. Ladies and gentlemen, we have almost come to the end of this ceremony. But fret not, we have an icebreaking session and forum coming up right after this. Before we continue with the next agenda, as a representative of the HICE Organization Committee, I would like to express our gratitude to the respectable Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Razif Shahril and all honored guests for your support today. I shall now pass the mic to Ahmad Shukri bin Aidi to continue with the icebreaking session. Thank you and have a
All right, thank you to Siti Nabila as our MC for tonight's opening ceremony. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good evening I bid to our respected guests, especially from Malaysia, China, Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam, the committees of HICE 2021, and of course to my fellow friends. My name is Ahmad Shukri bin Aidi, and I will be your moderator for tonight's main event. So sit tight and don't go anywhere. All right, first and foremost, on behalf of the committees, I would like to say thank you to our panel. In a short while, we will start on our main agenda, which is our forum or our discussion entitled Humanity, the Key to Diversity Acceptance. Personally, I hope our discussion or our forum in a short while will be fruitful and insightful towards the end, and we all have a better understanding regarding this matter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our forum for tonight, I think it is best if we get to know each other first. Because personally, as a student, I think this is one of the rarest opportunity together with people from different countries all over the world. Now, before we begin our icebreaking session, just a friendly reminder, I would like to invite all the participants from different countries to turn on your camera for our icebreaking session. All right? From Team Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam, please turn on your camera because we will play a little bit of icebreaking games. All right, of course, if time permits, we will be playing two types of icebreaking games. As the name suggests itself, this is an icebreaking session, which is the main objective for this session is, of course, to get to know each other. All right, so I can see you guys are showing me this confused facial expression. Well, randomly choose each participant from different countries to do a little bit of self-introduction by using an animal or a flower as an example. And this will then followed by 1 or 2 questions for you to explain more about yourselves. All right, let me use myself as an example. Hi everyone, my name is Ahmad Shukri bin Aidi and I see myself as a panda because I like to sleep all day long. And this will then followed by 1 or 2 questions. All right. So before we begin again, I would like to invite my fellow friends from different countries, representatives to switch on your camera. Okay, are you guys ready? All right, so to begin, I would like to call upon my fellow friend, from Team Indonesia. Can we have a representative from Team Indonesia? Hello, from Team Indonesia. Can you turn on your camera?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm from Team Indonesia.
All right, hi. Can you introduce yourself by using an animal or a flower? Please.
An animal or flower. Sorry, can you repeat? So I have to make a sentence or something?
Okay. Basically, all you have to do is introduce yourself by using an animal or flower, and then I will give you 1 or 2 questions regarding yourself for that, so that we can get to know you better. For example, my name is Ahmad Shukri bin Aidi, and I see myself as a panda because I love to sleep. All right, your turn.
Okay. Hello. My name is Fadel. I'm from Indonesia. I'm like a monkey.
Okay, you're like a monkey. All right, so my questions for you are, the first one is, tell me a little bit about your university. And the second question is, what is your favorite food outside of your country?
Outside of my country. Okay. So the first question is about my university. Okay, so I'm from Institute of Technology of 10 November. So my campus, my university, is a wonderful place for me because when you come to the entrance, you will see a very beautiful fountain, and it's very famous in my place because when it's night, it's always shines with beautiful colors of lamp. So it's almost like a tourist place. Yeah, that is also one of my favorite when I came to that university. And it's very friendly in there because the locals and all the lecturer, all the students there are very welcome to everyone, even though you guys are internationals or maybe locals as well from outside. We welcome everyone with a very big hug to all of us. Yeah. So maybe that's a general about my university. And then the second question is...
Okay, so the second question for you is, what is your favorite food outside of your country?
Okay, my favorite food outside my country is sushi. Because even though I don't like fish, but I don't know why, I like with fish. That's the funniest thing of me.
Yeah, okay, that was really, really interesting because although you don't like fish, but you love sushi. Okay, yeah. That's nice. All right, so thank you to our friend from Indonesia. Next, I would like to invite my fellow friend from Team Philippines. Right, can we have a representative from Team Philippines?
Hi, good evening.
Hi. All right. So please introduce yourself by using an animal or a flower, and then I will give you 2 questions. Please.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Rose Godinez from the University of the Immaculate Conception, Davao City, Philippines, and I'm 21 years old. If I can compare myself to an animal, I could choose a dog because a dog is loyal and adorable, and I'm basically loyal and adorable.
Oh, that was really
So,
energetic
yes.
from Team Philippines. Okay, all right. So my questions for you are, have you ever visited Malaysia before this? And what do you know about our university? The National University, our university, UCAM, University Kebangsaan Malaysia.
Okay. Here's I have never visited Malaysia before, even though it's a pre-COVID times. But if this pandemic will end, I would really love to visit Malaysia and go explore your wonderful city, your wonderful country. And I hope I could do that very soon. And what I know about the UKM is that UKM is a place of great and wonderful and amazing students who are very sociable in terms of very friendly, and I have met a lot of you during our international activities. And it's also a place where we can share, we can be openly, we can openly communicate and share each other's perspective and different culture. And basically, that's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you to our fellow friend Maru from Team Philippines. That was really energetic, and seeing you smile like that, I'm a bit excited because I can't wait to our main agenda to be started in a short while. All right. Thank you again to our fellow friend from Team Philippines. All right. So we have asked our fellow friends from Indonesia, from Team Philippines, and now I would like to call upon our fellow friends from Team Vietnam. Can we have one representative, please?
Hi.
Hi. All right. Can you introduce yourself to everyone?
My name is Ben, and I'm from FBTU from Vietnam.
All right. So can you use an animal or a flower to explain a bit about yourself?
Can you speak?
I'm going to introduce myself by using an animal. All right. So hi everyone. My name is Ahmad Shukri, and I see panda. I see myself as a panda because I love to sleep all day long. Right. Your turn.
I think maybe I'm a snake because my age is matched with a snake, and in the past I have used to pet. I have buy a snake, and so some I think I match with a snake, but I prefer. I see that he's a master of the jungle. So yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, so my questions for you are, what are the most popular places in your country?
Okay. The most favorite, the most thing is about a bánh mì. Do you know bánh mì? It's the best famous food in Vietnam, and about the traditional food in Vietnam is phở. The word phở has included in the Oxford. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you to our fellow friend from Team Vietnam. I can't wait. If I have an opportunity after this pandemic, I would surely visit your country. All right, thank you, Team Vietnam. Okay, so next I would like to call upon my fellow friends from Team Malaysia. Can we have one representative, please? Team Malaysia. Hello, from Team Malaysia, can we have one representative, please?
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, crystal clear.
Okay, I got the challenge from my fellow friends. I'm from UPSI, and I see myself as they say I'm like a owl because I like to stay all day and night.
All right, thank you. Okay, so previously I have given a few questions for them to elaborate about themselves or their country, but especially for you, things will be different. I will give you 3 different words. Okay, let me repeat that. I will give you 3 different words, and your job is to use those words to make an interesting story. Just a short story, but make it interesting. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, so 3 words for you are cooking, bicycle, and panda. Cooking, bicycle, and panda. Let's go from Team Upsi.
In the morning, I like to do cooking for my family. In the evening, I like to play bicycle with my panda pet. Thank you.
Wow, okay. All right, that's really interesting. Okay, thank you again from representative from Team Upsi or Team Malaysia. Okay, so I have called upon our fellow friends from Malaysia, from Philippines, from Indonesia, and Vietnam. But I am quite excited to call our fellow friends from Team China. Do we have any representative from Team China? Yes, from Team China, do we have one representative, please? Okay, perhaps our fellow friends from Team China are facing some technical issues. Let's give them another minute. Our fellow friends from Team China. Okay, it's okay. It's all right. Let's just move on. All right, so I have been informed that certain countries that are joining us today, tonight, not just one group, but multiple groups. So meaning to say that there are quite a few or quite a lot of representatives from different countries. So once again, I would like to call my fellow friends from Team Philippines. Another representative, please, from Team Philippines.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hello. Good evening,
Right.
everyone.
Hi. Oh, that's actually a cute background.
Thank you.
All right. So can you introduce yourself?
Oh, my name is Shania Tuinang. I am from the Philippines, from the University of the Immaculate Conception in Davao City, a third-year student. So nice to meet you guys.
All right. Hi. All right. So I'm gonna give you 3 different words, and the same thing goes to you. You have to create an interesting story by using those 3 words. Right? Are you ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Always ready, Char.
Okay. So 3 words for you are door, classes, and mother.
Can you repeat the first and last word?
Door, classes, and mother.
Mother.
Yes.
Okay. So I opened the door immediately when my mother was knocking on the door while I was in my class. Yes, I think that's sorry.
Well, that was fast. It was it was really interesting. Okay, thank you, Shania.
Thank you.
All right. So we can see that Team Philippines and other countries are actually quite pumped up, okay, in our icebreaking session. All right. So let's move on to our next group or next representative. Okay. I have called almost all of the countries that are here with us tonight, but I almost forgot about this, our wonderful friends from Team India. Can we have representative from Team India, please?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi, I'm from Team India.
Ah, yes. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm not from India, actually. I'm from Malaysia, but my university is in India.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
So my name is Tengku Zarif Nazrain. And if I were, do I need to still describe my animal?
Yes.
So if I were an animal, then I think I would be a Grizzly bear, I think.
Sorry?
Grizzly bear.
Can you repeat one more time, please? Sorry.
Grizzly bear.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. All right. May I know why?
Oh, you want to know why?
Yes.
Okay. How should I put this? I don't know. I think they're pretty neat and they have this huge size. And compared to me, I'm just a small guy. I'm a bit skinny. Yeah. Compared to the grizzly bear, yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting. All right. Hi, Grizzly Bear. Okay, so you mentioned just now you're actually a Malaysian but studying in India, right? Okay, so I am going to give you 3 words that are, I would say, closely related to Malaysia. All right, so the 3 words for you are coconut shake, air famosa, and cool.
And cool?
Yes, cool. C-O-O-L.
So I need to make a sentence out of that? Yeah,
yes.
So because I've been to Malaysia, I think that both coconut shake and efamusa are both pretty cool compared to... never mind. They're pretty cool, yeah, that's all.
All right, thank you to our fellow friend, our representative from Team India. Okay, looking forward to hear your thoughts regarding our forum. All right, so we are almost at the end of our icebreaking session. Okay, so lastly, I would like to call upon my fellow friends from Team Egypt. Yes, from Team Egypt, please, one representative. Can we have one representative from Team Egypt? Okay, maybe Team Egypt is also facing some technical issues. Let's give them another minute. Because we are doing everything virtually. So things like this, internet connection, technical issues are beyond our reach. So let's just give them another minute. Right, is there any representative from Team Egypt? Before we begin the main event or the main agenda for tonight. We have one representative from Vietnam. In the chat box, one of my dreams is actually to visit Egypt. Wow, okay. That is why I can't wait to have a chit chat with our friends from Team Egypt. All right, so seems like our friends from Team Egypt is not here yet. Okay, so allow me to call another representative from the, one country. Okay, so I have called Team Philippines twice. I have called India. I have called Indonesia, Malaysia. All right. So next, I would like to call upon my fellow friends from UK. Can we have a representative from UK? From Team UK, please. Okay, seems like Team UK is not here. All right, so to make things easier, because we are actually running out of time here. Okay, so lastly, previously I have called from Team Malaysia and one representative from UPSI. So next, I have been informed that there is a representative or there is a group from USM. Can we have one representative from USM, please?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So hi, my name is Ivy, and if I were to describe myself as an animal, I would probably describe myself as an owl because I'm quite nocturnal.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna give you one question. Okay, so what do you know about UKM?
applying for universities, I actually applied UKM as one of my top choices. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in. But what I know about UKM is that I visited there once during my school trip, and I visited their library before, which is very big and very spacious. So I kind of like the environment there.
Right. So thank you to our friend Ivy from USM. Okay. To be honest with you, I've never been to USM, but I've heard a lot of good rumors about USM. So if I have the opportunity in the future, I would definitely go and pay a visit. Okay.
Sure, I'll give you a.
All right. So thank you everyone for being so cheerful and sporting throughout our icebreaking session. What a way to kickstart our forum for tonight. All right, so before we begin our main agenda for tonight, let us all watch a promotion video about our forum for tonight, which is Humanity, the Key to Diversity Acceptance, which has been prepared by the multimedia team. All right. So thank you to multimedia team for such a wonderful and amazing video. On behalf of the committees, I would like to apologize because actually that video had wonderful music and amazing sound, but unfortunately tonight we face a little bit of technical issues. But that is one of the typical errors when we are doing things virtually. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off our forum with the title Humanity, the Key to Diversity Acceptance. Now, before we begin into the details, allow me to go through the flow with all of you guys tonight. Now, how it goes for tonight is I, as the moderator, will ask each panelist a question, and each will be given a total of 5 minutes to answer the question. Now, throughout the forum, we will basically bring our discussion on the trajectories of effects due to the conflict that happens in diversity acceptance. And for the closing, we are going to focus more on our role as youth in minimizing the discrimination and therefore promoting the positive diversity acceptance. Now, just a reminder to all the panelists to unmute your microphone whenever you feel like you want to answer the question. So is there any question before we begin? Okay. All right. Let's start off our forum. Now, diversity acceptance. What is actually the true meaning of diversity? What is the meaning of acceptance? Now, if you look up on internet about diversity, you will come across definitions from Cambridge Dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, and the list goes on and on. And we can come into a conclusion that basically diversity here means the act of including, the practice of involving people from different social and ethnic backgrounds. And not only that, people from different backgrounds, meaning to say that gender, ethnic, religion, social class, geography, school, occupational, and the list goes on and on. And what is acceptance? Now, obviously, acceptance is accepting, the act of accepting. So whenever we talk about diversity acceptance, we want to focus on accepting people from different backgrounds, and that is the main focus for tonight. Right. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, today, as of today, there are multiple events and multiple incidents that took place all over the world. And these unfortunate events or incidents somehow contradict to our topic for tonight, which is diversity acceptance, or basically accepting diversity that have been existed in this world ever since the beginning. Now, these unfortunate events, I personally think they portray unacceptance, they portray discrimination, unfairness, unjust, especially on the grounds of race, age, sex, or disability. Now, if you think about it, these are actually the ones that eventually become the barriers from achieving the true meaning of diversity acceptance. And I believe in the long run, the true meaning of diversity that seems to be forgotten over time. Now, I apologize for such a lengthy introduction. Now, as you can see, there are actually multiple types of discrimination available. However, to make this discussion much more effective for tonight, we will minimize our focus on just a few types of discrimination, which are skin discrimination or skin preference, Asian hate crimes, or caste, or in Bahasa Melayu, kasta. All right, but before we actually talk about these incidents or issues that have been mentioned earlier, let us start with our understanding of diversity and discrimination. And therefore, I would like to invite my fellow friends from Indonesia and Egypt to be our first speakers for today. Now, to our fellow friends from Indonesia and Egypt, the question goes, can you share to the audience about the relationship between discrimination of how do they actually correlate each other? Now, welcome my Yes, from Team Indonesia, we have a representative to answer the question. Okay, maybe they are facing technical issues again. Maybe our friend Fadil from Indonesia. Okay, once again, I would like to call maybe Elvin.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. So before that, can you please repeat the question, maybe? Or
Okay,
maybe...
sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Thank you, Julie from Indonesia. So basically, we are just starting to talk about the issues or incidents related to discrimination that have been going on over the past few decades. But before that, I would like to invite you as a representative from Indonesia to actually share with us tonight about the relationship between discrimination and diversity in terms of how do they correlate with each other, please.
All right. Thank you, dear moderator. So hello everyone. My name is Julie from Indonesia, and here I want to talk about the relation between discrimination and diversity, and in terms how is that correlated to each other. So we all know that diversity is all around us in school, workplace, universities, and yeah, almost all the places. And also, almost all countries have diversity, whether it's diversity in religion, ethnicity, culture, language, and so on. And we, as social beings, are also required to tolerate our fellow human beings, especially in facing diversity. And by tolerate means we should treat everyone fairly and equally. First environment. Therefore, mistreatments often happen in society, and one of them is discrimination. Discrimination is acting toward or treating individuals or groups in a different manner because they are simply different. And what often leads to discrimination actually? The first one is stereotypes. So Stereotypes is a fact over generalized belief about a particular group or class of people. So by stereotyping, we infer that a person has a whole range of characteristics and abilities that we assume all members of that group of people have. And the second one is prejudice. Prejudice refers to a preconceived judgment, opinion, or attitude directed towards certain people based on their membership in a particular group. It is a set of attitudes which supports, causes, or justifies discrimination. And the last one is racism. The belief that members of one race or ethnic group are superior to members of other races or ethnic group. So yes, diversity is correlated to discrimination because people with different demographic backgrounds than the majority of the people can feel isolated and may actually be, or at least appear to be, vulnerable to pressure from others. They may speak a different language, observe different customs, or simply interact in ways different from the majority. And conversely, people in the majority might feel threatened by those they perceive as different or other. They might be concerned that they are at risk or that the culture of the country that they have been living in might change. Or they may simply be uncomfortable around others who are not like them. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you to our fellow friend Julie from Indonesia. It was actually a concise and comprehensive, including examples related to diversity and discrimination. Thank you once again. All right, so I would like to invite again my fellow friends from Team Egypt. Do we have any representative from Team Egypt? From Team Egypt, is there any representative? Okay, perhaps our fellow friends from Egypt are actually having technical issues or internet connection because we are dealing things virtually. So things like this are actually beyond our control. Right, it's okay, it's all right. I would like to call upon my fellow friends from Team Vietnam. Do we have any representative from Team Vietnam to answer my question? From Team Vietnam, please. Hello, from Team Vietnam.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Right, are you ready to answer the question?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so the same question goes to you. Can you share to the audience about the relationship between discrimination and diversity in terms of how do they correlate with each other? Please.
So for our team, the topic is about youth can raise awareness about humanity and discrimination through social media or not. And despite of social media, there are any ways for us to spread the information to the public. So firstly, we totally agree that people, especially the younger generation, can talk about humanity and discrimination through social networking sites. Because of the development of technology, we can easily communicate with others, and therefore it is easier for us to be aware about human rights. A huge benefit of using social networks is that users can see our announcement when they are reading this feed, and there are many people who can see our post, our announcement at the same time from country to country. So that is the reason why social media can spread the information very fast Of course, not only social media, but there are also some effective ways for us to bring out the information. The first method is by using traditional media such as television programs, magazines, and newspapers. This can affect people's awareness from young to elder or from women to men, and also the simplest way to spread the message for society. One of these media signposts is used a lot in Vietnam because it is attractive and easy to understand. Second, we believe early awareness for children is also a good idea. We can adapt humanity information into textbooks or kids publications. For example, like comic books or news. The last option, and I think it would be effective to our generation, is to organize events and programs like this event, because we must admit that HICE attracted a lot of students from all around the world, and we think at the end of the programs, everyone will know more about the human rights. So this is the end of our answer.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you to our fellow friend. Okay, that was actually really interesting of you to include examples on how to create awareness regarding diversity acceptance. And you mentioned about the importance of delivering portraying messages through social media or textbook and etc. So, ladies and gentlemen, there were actually really amazing responses from both of our fellow friends from different countries. So what we can actually conclude from both of their thoughts regarding this issue is that although they come from different countries, obviously from different backgrounds, but they share the same opinion and they are basically on the same boat regarding diversity and discrimination. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most anticipated moment for today. This is the part where we dive deeper into the issues that have been going on over the past few decades. Not just the past few years, but decades. So I hope you are pumped up as I am right now. Okay, so to begin, I would like to share with all of you guys tonight one of the most amazing quotes of all time by Nelson Mandela. So according to Nelson Mandela, no one is born hating another person just because the color of his skin or his religion or his background. And according to him, people must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Now, narrowing down, throughout the past few decades, we can actually see that skin preference or skin discrimination has been an unfinished and ongoing business. And not only happening in one specific country, but also happening in multiple countries. For example, an instant research has been done in the year 2016. According to the results of this research being done in the year 2016, not only skin discrimination happened in Europe, not only happened in Africa, but also in Asian countries such as Malaysia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, China, Japan, Pakistan, and the list goes on and on. Now, talking about this, let's take USA as an example. All right, so in the USA itself, since 2013, a large scale of decentralized political and social movement protesting against the incidents of police brutality violence against Black people has been actively rising. And last year, June 2020, the international scale. Now, having Barack Obama, when he was the president, he successfully controlled this protest. But last year, Donald Trump, who is famously known with his long history of racism, he came in as the president of the United States. So I regard this next question to our fellow friends from Team Philippines. Okay, so to our friends from Team Philippines, now the question goes, in your opinion, if the USA is having his second Barack Obama or second Black president next to Obama, the state of colorism issue in the country, do you think it will progress positively or otherwise? Would like to invite my fellow friends.
Hello?
from Team
Hello,
Philippines.
am I audible? Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
And once again, good evening. The issue of colorism in the United States, it has been happening since its history started. Colorism stems from larger racial system that has affected opportunities to position and leadership rights. Having a man of color as president next to Obama may have its advantages and disadvantages. It may help lessen the weight of the issue and may give the community recognition in various areas. It will promote diversity and inclusivity, and it will empower more those who feel less because of their color. However, it also has its disadvantages, such as it may trigger people who have been promoting or who have been upholding the white supremacy since the beginning of time. But it is a continuous fight and up until now. And what the country needs is not just a president that will represent the community, but also a change of perspective and understand diversities that define a person, but how you treat other people. Thank you very much. Once again, I am Maris Gideonis from the Philippines One.
Oh, thank you to our dear friends from Philippines. Once again, from Team Philippines are really energetic and supportive. So thank you so much from Team Philippines for sharing your opinion regarding this matter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed one of the things that I love the most about having a discussion or forum, whereby we get to hear different opinions or different perspectives regarding one particular issue. All right, talking about this, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there are actually a lot of cases of anti-Asian hate crime happening in the USA, which ranges from verbal harassment to physical assault. Now, in this regard, the Stop AAPI Hate, which is a California-based reporting center for Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, has received nearly 3,800 reports of anti-Asian racist attacks since March 2020. Now, fortunately, several anti-Asian violence rallies have in response to this racism action. So this leads to my next question for my fellow friends from Vietnam. Okay, from Vietnam, do we have a representative? So the question: what are the key points of discrimination during this pandemic? In your opinion, do you actually think it is the outbreak that worsened the condition, or simply because the public cannot stand with the diversity between one another? Please, from Team Vietnam.
I'm sorry, but can you repeat the question for me?
Okay, sure. All right, so basically we are talking about during this COVID-19 pandemic, there have been a spike in cases of anti-Asian hate crimes, which has been happening in USA. So my question is, what are the key points that aggravates discrimination during the pandemic? Do you think it is actually the outbreak that worsened the condition of this discrimination, or simply because the public cannot stand with the diversity between one another? Yes, from Team Vietnam.
My internet connection is very low. I'm sorry. Can you give me 5 minutes?
All right, let's give our fellow friends from Team Vietnam a few minutes to settle the technical issues. As I mentioned earlier, we are doing this virtually, so things like this are actually beyond our reach. So let's give them a few minutes.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I want to answer that question.
Yes, please.
From Indonesia 1. What Indonesia? Okay.
Hello? Okay.
There are a number of impact caused by act discrimination. For victims, yes, the impact they experience is not only physical but also psychological. In extreme case, physical repercussion can even result in death. There is a lot of evidence to suggest long-term negative effect on both victim and perpetrators. Discrimination does not only affect the victim, but also the perpetrator, the individual who witnessed it, and the social climate which ultimately affect and reputation of community. Racial ethnic discrimination is any form of discrimination, exclusion, limitation, or election based on race and ethnicity, which result in revocation or reduction of recognition, acquisition or implementation of human rights and basic freedom in equality in civil, political, economic, social field, and culture. Reflecting on history with cases that occur in developed countries, which were formerly immigrant with interests, for example, the Sampit conflict, interethnic conflict, namely the Dayak and Madures. Trip on the 29th of February 2001, allegedly the conflict occurred because of competition the economy failed. In that conflict, the National Human Rights Commission established the Sampit Commission to investigate human rights violation. It was recorded that were about 469 people who died in the conflict and as many as 180,000 people had to flee. We can see from the example of this case, so the government intervenes to reunite in the process of unification, and the unity can be reunited. In addition, Indonesian citizens are also obligated to uphold the values of diversity in unity. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika consists of several words, namely Bhinneka, which means diverse or different, Tunggal, which means one, and Ika, which means that. Thus, it can be interpreted that the meaning of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika is that although it is different, basically the Indonesian nation is one unit. This motto is used to describe the unity and integrity of the nation and the unitary state of Republic Indonesia, which consists of various cultures, regional language, race, ethnic group, religion. With this, must avoid selfishness. If there is no diversity, it is certain that the Indonesian nation will be divided, one of which is discrimination. Therefore, it is very important to maintain the motto of unity in diversity as well as possible, so that the unit of Indonesian nation and state is maintained. We hope that this mutual respect does not apply to Indonesian citizens, but also to citizens to other countries. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to our fellow friend from Team
That's
Indonesia.
all for me.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you to yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you to Team Indonesia. That was really ample and bright explanation. So I hope everyone is still here with me tonight in a short while. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, today, secondary to the colorism issue. Now in our discussion today, we will further dig into the current extreme Asian hate crimes. Now as we know that every one of us is unique, having a totally different genetic information, which contributes to a different look. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is painful to see issues regarding Asian hate crimes have started to take its place in various countries all over the world. Now, Asian hate crimes. Asian hate crimes have doubled on the rise as people are blindly blaming the Asian people for COVID-19 virus that originated from Wuhan, China. And therefore, I regard this next question to our fellow friend or representative from Team China? Do we have a representative from Team China? I was told that there is one representative from Team China, Zoe Huang. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. Do we have representative from Team China, please? Right, perhaps Team China is unavailable tonight. Okay, so I change, this question is an open question. So anyone from any countries can answer this question. So the question goes, what are the other valid reasons that are limiting the diversity acceptance and contribute to this Asian hate crimes? Now, any takers from members of the floor? Maybe from Team Philippines or from Team India, perhaps?
Can you repeat the question, Ahmad?
Yeah, sure. All right, so basically we are talking about Asian hate crimes, which have doubled on the rise as people are blindly blaming the Asian people for COVID-19, which is originated from Wuhan, China. Now, my question goes, what are the other valid reasons that are actually limiting the diversity acceptance? And what do you think contribute to these hate crimes, these Asian hate crimes?
Okay, I think one of the reasons why hate crimes proliferate, it's because of the lack of understanding of other people, other culture. Like they are not exposed to your practices, and they are not exposed to your belief. So basically, they are contained only to the things that they know. So that is why inclusivity is far fetched from them. Now, how to battle that out is this kind of venue, like what you're doing now, that you provide a venue for a dialogue to everyone to express and to show and to showcase what they have. Because I think it's only our opportunity to show what we know, the opportunity to show what really are our practices. Somehow cuts doubts and questions of why do we do this one. Like I am very frustrated. Like that the Westerners associate COVID-19 to the Chinese or to China. So I mean the repercussion of that thought is being or is suffered by all Asian. So I think in order to promote inclusivity, I think we need to provide dialogues, a lot of dialogues for that matter, so that we can get our message across to everyone. And at the same time, I think we need also to have leaders who also have the vision of uniting people. Like I think Malaysia is a very good example to that one, because I know Malaysia has Chinese, has Muslims, has Christians living together harmoniously. So I think we can get your practices and how to become inclusive. And I also would like to highlight also the place where I am, that is Mindanao, because Mindanao is also a place where the ethno-linguistic, the Muslims and the Christian lives together harmoniously. I think that's one of the things that we can do. And also, I also believe that you as leaders, as our future leaders, can help push inclusivity, like educating your friends or educating your foreign friends about these matters. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you to Serene from Team Philippines. All right, so I do agree with you regarding this Asian hate crimes. I mean, yes, the fact that COVID-19 or this virus actually originated from Wuhan, China, but nowadays we cannot put the blame 100% to the Asian people, because that is just not right. So I do see eye to eye with you from Team Philippines. So thank you once again for such great explanation. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Now, ladies and gentlemen, during this COVID-19 pandemic, there are actually a number of countries that collaborated well and were willing to lend their hand when others needed help, regardless of skin color or beliefs. However, ladies and gentlemen, we can still see that this discrimination is still happening in certain countries. Sort of like discrimination is never ending. Now, this next question, I would like to call upon my fellow friend from Team Malaysia. Yes, so representative from Team Malaysia, this question goes to you. Now the question goes, can you share with us tonight your opinion regarding this? Why do you think there is still discrimination going on? Please, from Team Malaysia. Yes, do we have representative from Team Malaysia, please? Yes, once again, I would like to call upon my friends from Team Malaysia to answer my question. Or perhaps our friends from Malaysia are facing some technical issues. All right, so let's make it an open question. So any takers from the use of the floor?
Yeah, hello. I'm from Malaysia, but
Yes.
not the representative team. About your question, can you repeat it? Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, sure, it's okay. Sorry. All right. So basically, I was talking about during this pandemic, there are a number of countries that have been collaborated well and were willing to lend their hand when others needed help, regardless of skin color or regardless of religion and etc. But we can still see that nowadays this discrimination issue is still happening in certain countries. So, in your opinion, why do you think this discrimination I mentioned just now is like never ending?
Okay, in my opinion, I think the main problem is that people lack of education. Yes, education about different races, because there may be some places the majorities are not the people there, the population there is not diverse. So to them, they think that this kind of diversity, when they exposed to this kind of diversity, they think that these people are not the same as us. So it means that if there is difference, they think that this is abnormal. So they will have this kind of attitude and emotion that these people are negative people, or these people have lower standards than us, or these people are aliens. So for me, I think that the main problem is we need to educate when we are little. Because for me, I come from a Chinese community when we are from primary school, secondary school, yes. And when we are in university, yes, suddenly our community become diverse. Even in Malaysia, like we have small communities. When we started from Chinese community schools, like Malays and Indians are very rare in our school. So when we talk to them, we will feel afraid of them. Because some of us, we are not fluent in English, we are not fluent in Malay, because we talk Chinese every day. So when we come to this kind of situation, we will feel afraid. If the teacher did not mention this in class, we are talking about diversity on textbooks, on texts, but not face to face, we don't have this kind of personal experience, then we will feel afraid. So I think that education, especially exposure, is very important issue regarding diversity acceptance. Thank you.
All right. So thank you to our fellow friends from Malaysia. That was really, really nice and interesting explanation from you. And I couldn't agree more regarding this matter. And it's really interesting that you mentioned about awareness. So basically, you are trying to include how to create awareness in the Malaysian society. So it's really nice because you mentioned about it. So I just want to inform to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk more about this awareness. or what other mechanism to create this awareness about diversity acceptance in Malaysian community or Malaysian society after this short break. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be having a short break, and I hope to see you all after this. All right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi everyone. All right, so welcome back everyone. I hope you have utilized our short break earlier because in a short while, we will be having a series of important questions that you don't want to miss. Right, so let's move on to the next question. So for that, I would like to call upon my fellow friends from Team Indonesia. Right, so representatives from Team Indonesia, I hope you are ready for my question, I'm sorry. Now, can you share with us tonight what are the effects on the generation due to the conflict happen in diversity acceptance? I mean, we do know that it leads to a number of effects, and one of them is actually mental health problems. For instance, we can see that the number of people committing suicide or attempting suicide from these issues has increased over time. Now, from Team Indonesia, can you share what are the other examples? Right, do we have a representative from Team Indonesia to answer my question, please? Right, from Team Indonesia, are you there? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's make it an open question. Do we have any takers from members of the floor? Perhaps from Team India?
Hello.
Hello? Hello, yes. Are you from Team Indonesia?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay. So do you want to answer the question?
Yes. Sorry, can you repeat again?
Yeah, sure. All right. So I was actually asking about the effects on the generation due to these conflicts happen in diversity acceptance. And one of the effects that we can talk about is actually mental health problem. For example, we can see that the numbers of people committing suicide or attempting suicide coming from these incidents or these unfortunate events related to diversity acceptance has increased over time. Now, from you yourself, in your opinion, can you share other examples?
Okay. There are a number of impacts caused by X discrimination. For victims, the impact they experience is not only physical, but also psychological. In extreme case, physical repercussion can even result in death. There is a lot of evidence to suggest long-term negative effect on both victim and perpetrators. Discrimination does not only affect the victim, but also perpetrator, the individual who witness. It is the social climate which ultimately affect the reputation of community. Racial and ethnic discrimination is any form of discrimination, exclusion, limitation, or election based on race and ethnicity, which result in the revocation or reduction, recognition, acquisition, or implementation of human rights and basic freedom in equal the civil, political, economical, social field, and culture. Reflecting on history, with cases that occur in developed countries which were formerly immigrant with interest, for example, the Sampit conflict. Sampit conflict, inter-ethnic conflict, namely the Dayak and Madures, tribe on 9th of February 2001. Allegedly, the conflict occurred because of competition in the economic field. In that conflict, the National Human Rights Commission established the Sampit Commission to investigate human rights violation. It was recorded that we were about 461 people who died in the conflict, as many as 181 people had to flee. We can see from the example of this case So that government intervenes to reunite in the process of unification and the unity can be reunited. In addition, Indonesian citizens are also obligated to uphold the values of diversity in unity. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika is consists of several words, namely Bhinneka, which means diverse or different, Tunggal, which means one, and Ika, which means that. Thus, it can be interpreted that the meaning of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika is that although it is different, basically the Indonesian nation is one unit. This motto is used to describe the unity and integrity of the nation and the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia, which consists of various cultures, regional language, race, ethnic group, religion, and belief. With this motto, unity in diversity, each individual must avoid selfishness. If there is no diversity, it is certain that the Indonesian will be divided, one of which is discrimination. Therefore, it is very important to maintain the motto of unity in diversity as well as possible so that the unity of the Indonesian and state in maintain. We hope that the mutual respect does not apply to Indonesian citizens but also citizens to other countries.
Really sorry, Ms. Rifa Khairunisa, that your answer is not related to the question. The question is, could you like to share the other example for the mental health?
Oh, the mental health.
Yeah, I think it's that the question.
Wait. Sorry, can you repeat again?
I think that the question is in the commenter chat. In the chat, exists in the chat. Could you like to give some example from the effect of the mental health?
Oh, maybe the effect of the mental health will be the mental health will be broken or something like depression or maybe someone want to and their life maybe. Yeah, I think like that.
Right, is that it? From Team Indonesia?
Yeah.
That would be all right. Is there anything you want to add on?
In the world of health, discrimination can occur in various ways. For example, discrimination practice in health institution ranging from hospital to puskesmas are still common and rare felt by the poor. Health access for our poor is still very limited, and the classic problem faced by the poor is the problem of money. The money issues is often a differentiator in health service between the poor and rich. Discrimination provides material and physical harm, but can also harm a person for mental health. Many of the people who died of because suicide due to stress are victim or discrimination. In 2015, the World Health Organization (WHO) committed suicide in number countries as the second leading cause of death among people aged 15 to 29 years. Who data for several years, not that very year, about 800 people die because of suicide. I think that's enough from me. I'm sorry, 2015, the year.
I'm sorry, sir, Ahmad.
Okay, thank you.
I can't hear your voice as well.
Okay, sorry. I forgot to unmute. I was too
Okay,
excited.
thank you.
All right, thank you to our fellow friends from Indonesia. Okay, thank you for sharing your opinion, your insight, your thoughts regarding this issue. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, is indeed why we need to play our role in minimizing the discrimination and instead promoting the positive diversity acceptance in order for us to avoid these life-threatening effects. All right, so this will be another open question. So any representative from any countries can unmute your microphone and speak up your opinion. So we know that youngsters nowadays are more open to new ideas compared to the traditional generation. According to the United Nations, youth campaigns for young people are one of the mechanisms to create awareness of humanity around the world. Now, I would like to invite my fellow friends from any countries, any representative. This is an open question, so anyone can answer the question. Do you think the world is changing in the way that diversity is gradually accepted, or it runs the other way around? So any takers? Perhaps from Team India? Maybe from Team Malaysia or Philippines?
Well, good evening, everyone. So can I answer? So regarding the question, I believe that diversity is gradually accepted in our society right now. One good example for this is like our event right now, the Hice, because we are coming from different countries, but we are right now like gathered together in unity to promote acceptance to diversity. And also in every countries, there are already like laws, or not really laws, like promotions to accepting for respecting different cultures. And even in the Philippines, I can see that in the Philippines, Filipinos are very open to different culture. Example, Korean culture, Japanese culture, as well as for the Malaysians and Indians. Like I can see that more people are being welcome in our country, and their culture is not really like, I mean, it's not treated as really different, but I can see that Filipinos are very welcome. So I think that also applies to other countries like Malaysia and Indonesia, because I can see that right now there are different webinars and forums that accept or like being conducted to have like socialization when it comes to culture, like intercultural events where we share our culture. And it's also like you can feel that it's not just like Filipinos, but also other countries are really open and welcome to different cultures and like diversity as a whole. So that's my answer. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you to Shania from Team Philippines. Okay. Again, your background is actually really cute. It was really a distraction for me. All right. So thank you once again from Team Philippines. I do agree with you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually one of the main objective of organizing this event or program, which is Hice, because we want to promote the diversity and acceptance among not only among students from Malaysia, but also from different countries as well. All right. So once again, I hope you are all still here with me right now, because we are actually reaching the end of our agenda for tonight. And I hope you all are actually paying attention as we are into the discussion about our role as youth to encounter the problems and issues mentioned earlier. Now, I regard my next question to my fellow friends from Vietnam. Okay, so representative from Team Vietnam, I hope you are ready. So other than what youth can do, we can actually raise the awareness of the public about humanity and discrimination through social media. Now, to my fellow friends from Vietnam, Do you think awareness through social media is helpful? And other than social media, how can we spread the information to the public? Please.
Yeah, we really agree that social media is really an effective way for us to raise awareness for the other people. And other than social media, then as I said before, we can get traditional media such as television or magazine or newspaper to help people understand more about humanity and and discrimination. Furthermore, there are some ways like we can teach the kids when they are very young so that they can adapt the idea and the way that and the real and way that people can truly think about human rights. The last way is that we can organize some events or some programs that related to the topic, and it is quite effective and attractive to the young generation, like students or children. And that is for my question, for my answer.
All right, thank you to our fellow friend from Team Vietnam. Okay, so I would like to call my fellow friend from Indonesia, perhaps Muhammad Fahmi from Indonesia.
Yeah, it's me here.
Yes, can you answer your question? I would like to hear your opinion regarding this. Do you want me to repeat the question?
Okay. Well, thanks. Thanks a lot for the opportunity for me. I think young people have unique ability to contribute and to make positive changes to the world. When young people are empowered as agent of change, they can pass the information and skills they have learned to others in their communities. Young people as great leaders empower others and move together to make a change for a better world, because young people are the solution for tomorrow and all of worries. And then we live in the era of 4.0 era, we call it as millennial era. And then as the millennial, we can share the information, we can educate the societies about the topic that exists right now. And then I think that the young generation or young people can problem. I think that's
all right. Thank you to Muhammad Fahmi from Indonesia. It was really energetic, and I can really feel the vibe there. So once again, thank you to our friends from Vietnam and Indonesia for such comprehensive and concise explanation. And I couldn't agree more. And I agree with you on this, because we are actually living in the modern days with modern technologies such as smartphones, Androids, tablets, etc. And by using such technologies, I think we can actually deliver our messages effectively and somehow create awareness. Because I would say everyone, as of today, I would say everyone has access to the internet. All right, so let's move on to the next question. So I regard this next question to our representatives and our friends from Team Egypt, because I have been informed that Team Egypt just joined us a few minutes ago. So to Team Egypt, I hope you guys are ready. So the question goes, as we know, Malaysia is a multiracial country, and plenty of Malaysians can speak more than one language. So may I know how you, as a Malaysian that lives in other country, will adapt to this norm? Are you willing to learn the other's race language or their culture? Because nowadays there are a lot of people who keep speaking in their mother tongue and are not willing to learn others' language. So if I may, to our representative from Team Egypt, may I know what is your stance in this case, please? right? Do we have a representative from Team Egypt? Is unavailable again, but it's okay because we are dealing things virtually, as I mentioned 1,000 times tonight. So things like this are beyond our reach. So it's okay. Let's just move on to the next question. So this next question is for my fellow friends from Team Malaysia. So I hope our representatives from Team Malaysia will be able to share their insights or input regarding my next question. So the question goes, as we know that there are different races in Malaysian community, such as Malays, Chinese, Indian, and other races. So people among these races might develop relationships with each other, and some actually might get married with their spouses who come from different races. For example, a Malay girl is married to a Chinese man. Now, this is actually a common in Asian society. From this aspect, can we have your opinion about mixed marriage? So from Team Malaysia, any representative? Do you think this is a symbol that has a diverse opinion which is against the question? From Malaysia, please. Any representative from Team Malaysia?
Good evening. Can I answer this?
Hello, sir.
All right. So yeah, good evening. So for me, yes. All right. So for me, I think that mixed marriage is actually something quite normal, and it is not like kind of something surprising, especially in a diverse community such as in Malaysia. And okay, talking about history, we have actually having a race, or I should say a mix of race called Baba and Nonya since hundreds of years ago, which are the mix of Chinese and the people, the original people here in Malaysia. And for the modern days, what we can see is we have a lot of Malays marrying with Chinese, or maybe we have Indians, and we have all kinds of diverse races marrying each other. So in my opinion, I think that firstly, when you say that can we have this mixed marriage, I'd say that actually this is an issue of the couple. So if they are willing to marry each other, I think it is okay. And as we know, they might have differences in terms of race, or maybe even cultures and religions. So for me, I think that as long as if they can overcome all these kind of differences, or they can tolerate, I think it is okay for them to have a mixed marriage. And for the one that you say that, do you think that is it a symbol that shows that our community has a diversity and acceptance? I would say yes. Or maybe we can see like there are still some people having kind of stereotypes like it is weird to have a mixed marriage. But actually, I think that compared to the past, our society has a higher acceptance now, as we can see that more and more people are having mixed marriage, because what I can see is people now, they are considering less about the differences in terms of race and cultures when they are choosing their couples. And yes, I think that this is kind of common, and I would say kind of a unique thing that is common in a diverse community such as in Malaysia. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you to our fellow friend.
Can I add?
Hello?
Can I add more on that
yeah,
question?
Sure.
Okay, so hi, I'm from UKM KL. I'm from UKM, Malaysia. So about the races, I agree with your statement, with the MC statement, talking about there is a lot of advantages about the different races in Malaysia. So in my opinion, if you are married with a mixed married with another races, you have to know more about their races. For example, if you're married with Chinese, you get to know their siblings, you get to know of their family, you get to know of their food, you get to know of their fashion, you get to know what is happening in Chinese community, on, and you even know how to speak in their language, right? So, for example, I am Baba Nyonya, I am Peranakan people, so I tend to have a unique food, unique dishes, which is uh, which is good, which is a symbol for Malaysia. So another thing is, although we are having a mixed married races, there is always an asymptote. There is always a cap. There is always as a rule. For example, if you are Malay or a Muslim, you can't marry a dosa. You can't marry a non-Muslim people. Although we are although we are living in an open country, in an open mind, there is still a rule that we must follow. So, for example, like that, you Muslim, you can't marry the non-Muslim one. If you want to marry that Muslim, if you want to marry that non-Muslim, you must make it Muslim, and then you can marry and happy life together. Okay, so there is a lot of advantages. There is a lot of advantages actually if you're married with another country, another tribes, for example, another races. And in my books, there is stated that in my mind, there is stated that if you are married with another tribes or another races, sometimes they build your antibodies, For example, I'm going to the Institute of Biotechnology in University Malaysia Sabah before that, last years. So there is one tribe in Sabah their antibody is good against some diseases. So maybe rabies, maybe their tribe is not, maybe their tribe is their tribe cannot get the rabies because of their antibody. So if you're married with, it is like a plant. It is like a plant, If you are having plants married with these plants, of course, that is good for them to fight and to stand more. So I think that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you to my fellow friend Amir Zulkarnain from UKM. It's interesting you mentioned about Sabah because I'm actually a Sabahan living in Kuala Lumpur, UKM. All right, enough with that. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. But before that, let's just conclude about this mixed marriage. I do agree with previous speaker's opinion because Malaysian community or Malaysian society is indeed one of the ways or mechanism for us to promote the diversity acceptance. And if I were you, and if I were to answer this question, do I think this is a symbol that shows that our community has a diversity acceptance attitude? I would say definitely yes. Because we can see that mixed marriage has been happening throughout the past few decades, not just past few years, but it has been happening for the past few decades. So I think in order for us to promote diversity acceptance, one of the ways is, yes, mixed marriage. So let's move on to the next question. Right, so maybe our friend, once again, from Indonesia, Muhammad Fahmi, for our next question. All right, so the question goes, you are an Indonesian, right? Yes, so if you are given a chance to learn others' language or culture, are you willing to do so?
Could you like to repeat the question?
Okay, sure. Right, so the question goes, I understand that you are an Indonesian, but if you are given a chance to learn other people's language, for example, or culture, are you willing to do so? Or do you have any specific stance regarding this?
Okay, I think I will learn all of language in the world because of why? Because I have a dream that I want to go I want to go abroad around the world, I think that dominating, what is it? A language, another language, I think it's one of the important thing that we can communicate with the other people around the world. And the or the important language that we have to dominate first is English, because English is an international language, and then with English we can communicate with the other person, with the other people around the world. And then the most important or the first selection language that I have to learn perfectly, that English. I think, in my opinion, like that.
All right, thank you to Muhammad Fahmi. Okay, so I just happened to open this chat box, and it was really a hit up discussion regarding mixed marriage. So I would like to call upon our fellow friend Ivy Lim. If I'm not mistaken, Ivy Lim is from USM. Would you like to share with us tonight your opinions regarding mixed marriage?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Well, honestly, I heard a lot of people saying yes towards whether the community has the diversity acceptance attitude towards mixed marriage. Honestly, my answer is no. But let me tell you about my concept of marriage first. So actually, my concept of marriage is if the other half is someone you actually truly love, or if you find sheer happiness just by being with him or her, as well as thinking about him or her, and the person loves you the same back, then that marriage is deemed successful already. So mixed marriage, in my opinion, has the same concept as a non-mixed marriage, only that the only difference that we can see is that there is a split in culture, and that actually requires extra understanding and tolerance. So I do not mix with the true meaning of diversity acceptance is that we do not mock people of different culture and race. And although there are like people involved in mixed marriages, right? But the diversity acceptance is just between them and not among the community. So speaking about that, the majority of the community is still lacking that acceptance in this type of marriage, in mixed marriage. So the community, from what I can see from my own experience, the community still finds mixed marriages a very weird and abnormal way of being together. And people, even in our current generation, the teenagers and the younger generations, would still feel uncomfortable going out with their boyfriends or their fiancés or their husbands and wives of different races, because the community, most of the community will actually stare and give negative remarks regarding their relationship. So honestly speaking, it's really a sad thing to see it happen, not only in Malaysia, but I believe in other countries as well. But I believe if people understand more about marriages, be more open about it, and actually understand what actually is true love, then the netizens will actually slowly accept the fact that love actually happens anywhere and with everyone, regardless of race, gender, and even age as well. So marriages for me should not have a normal standard, like it has to be with a boy and a girl, or it has to be of people of the same race, and they deem the marriage as normal, as just not weird and just normal. But it should be something freer and, you know, focuses more on intimacy and basically the strength of the relationship. So for me, the symbol of diversity acceptance would probably be more of how people of different races respect the culture of others and actually mingle together without any issues or riots. So take Chinese New Year and Hari Raya in Malaysia as an example. Many of us who actually do not celebrate those occasions will still have like fun with friends celebrating those occasions, and actually they would respect the beliefs and ritual that example I can actually 1st of August every single year. So that is another form of Merdeka. Everyone would gather together the pre-COVID times to celebrate the unity of Malaysia as a country. And diversity acceptance for me, that is where you actually see how well the colors blend, you know, how well the colors blend and how the nation actually unites as one and what diversity acceptance truly is. So that's my opinions. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you to Ivy Lim from USM. That was a really nice sharing. And I think a lot of us who are in this Zoom right now agree to your points mentioned earlier. And I do agree with you when you mentioned about there are certain people who actually see mixed marriage as one of the abnormal things that actually happen in Malaysia. But I personally think that mixed marriage is actually one of the mechanisms in order for us to promote diversity acceptance. All right, so if we look at the chat box, we have our friends from Team Egypt. They say they want to answer the previous question. So, okay, I would like to call upon my friends from Team Egypt once again. Okay, so as we know, Malaysia is actually a multiracial country and plenty of Malaysians can speak more than one language. So to my friends from Egypt, may I know how you, as a Malaysian that lives in other country, will adapt to this norm? Like, are you actually willing to learn the other's race language or their culture? Because nowadays there are a lot of people who keep speaking in their mother tongue and are not willing to learn others' language. So may I ask, what is your stance in this case?
Hello, hi. Do you hear me?
Yes, crystal clear, please.
Okay, sorry because you have some connection problem just now.
Right.
So as a Malaysian student who live and study here, we actually willing to learn and other language and the culture, and we need to learn Egyptian language, especially because we here as dentists, we treat patient and most of them was talking in their language, never just a few talking in English because this is their nation, so they just talk to us with their Egyptian language lah. So as a dentist, we're dealing with the patient. So the patient, most of them are talking in Egypt language.
Okay, and the other benefit that we need to learn other language because, for example, we need to learn Egyptian language, which is also Arabic language. But there's two type of Arabic language, and when we go to we travel to the Saudi, there are we need to talk. Sometimes we need to talk to the people there. And sometimes we need to ask some questions. So we can use this Egyptian language to be used in Saudi. So there's a benefit for us. Like we travel in the same almost the same language, because they also sometimes understand what we are talking when we are using Egyptian's language. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to our fellow friends. You mentioned that you guys are actually dental students. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So am I.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are actually some of the points mentioned by our fellow friends from Team Egypt, and those I just want to highlight are actually the importance or the advantages if we choose to learn the other's race, language, or their culture. And of course, if we start to learn, we will start to appreciate the true meaning of diversity. And once we appreciate the true meaning of diversity, and only then we can truly accept the people from different backgrounds, or in other words, diversity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we can see that diversity acceptance can actually help to dispel negative stereotypes and personal biases about different groups. And people can recognize and respect ways of being that are not necessarily their own culture. And I believe by doing that, people can build bridges to trust, to respect, and also to understand across cultures. And for your information, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk more about issues regarding cross-culturalism. And this will be held tomorrow night. So I hope you guys can attend the forum or discussion about cross-culturalism tomorrow night, which will be hosted by one of my friends. All right. So previously, during our early of our discussion, I picked up one of the greatest or amazing quotes by Nelson Mandela. And now allow me to share another amazing quote by Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde, who was an American writer and civil rights activist. Now, according to Audre Lorde, she said that it is not our differences that divide us, but instead it is actually our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the last part of our forum for tonight, I would like to hear from our panelists to summarize our topic today regarding youth's role to promote diversity acceptance in order to minimize discrimination around the world. So, any takers from members of the floor? Any representative from any country? Would you like to summarize our discussion for tonight? Perhaps from Arya from Team Indonesia.
Yes, of course. I would like to give some additional answer. I think what is in Ahmad Shukri said it was before. It is true that that is not the difference that divided us to accept the diversity, because it is an what it's called. Sorry, wait a second.
It's okay, take your time.
Okay. Because it is our deficiency that can understand that the diversity is around us, and we need to accept that whatever the consequence, and also for give us a better life for future. I think so. Thank you.
May I add, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, here I will give you some summary that I think that nobody is born perfect, but we and ourselves can choose to be perfect and make ourselves perfect in our own version. Everything always starts from believing and trusting yourself. What makes us special? Is it our looks? It is our mind? It is our ability to adapt to change. It is our will and proven courage to create things bigger than ourselves. No greed. How great we are, how smart, how creative and productive, how innovative, determine how useful we are. If there is only one reason why we are special, that because how identical we are to the universe and how connected we are to each other. Just look into people's eyes and we will see the universe unfold in diminutive yet magnificent ways. From there, whenever you look into the people's eyes, you will see thousands of stories being told. As Indonesian, looking at our history and culture, I learned that the greatest thing about our country is what portrays but our national motto, unity in diversity. Their words have been embodied within our heart and collective memorized to remind us to control our ego, strengthen our empathy, and embrace the beauty of diversity. I think that's all.
All right, thank you to our fellow friends from Indonesia, Arya and Muhammad Fahmi. That was actually really interesting and really comprehensive explanation. All right, so I want to call upon my fellow friend from Team Philippines, Charles.
Yep. Hello. Good evening. Thank you for the summarization, Ahmad. Overall, we must work to beat these stereotypical assumptions and stop questioning people based on their appearance or who they are. We should stop this discrimination and these unfair thoughts in any ways and examine our own views, values, and behaviors. We may choose to be surrounded by people who are different from us. We also have things to learn and wisdom to impart. It takes a lifetime to understand of diversity, and it can be a challenging at times, but still inspiring and fulfilling. I hope that this platform tonight will serve as a fresh start from all of us to stop discriminations in all aspects. As a youth and future leaders of our society, we must start from scratch, get involved, help yourself and others, think clearly and focus on our strengths rather than our weaknesses, and seek support system, not just to your own race, to your own color, but create this abundant support system that could create an imaginable progress of how we accept and how we embrace the changes or the diversity within us. And in spite of differences and issues landed us, it became a challenge for us to unite. And as a youth today, it is our job to change the world and its view without erasing the words, without erasing the roots. We can celebrate individuality and diversity in the world by advocating the richness of cultural diversity, utilizing the global and unified vision for all to attain peace, inclusiveness, and safe for all humanity. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you to Charles from Philippines. A very good conclusion and summarization. All right, so last question from me to our fellow friends from Malaysia. Do we have any representative from Team Malaysia before we end our forum? Any representative from Malaysia?
Yes, can I volunteer?
All right, so I can hear you crystal clear. So my question to you is, in your opinion, we have gone through a lot of serious questions, and we also have discussed about our role as youth in minimizing this discrimination that has been going on. So in your opinion, do you think forums like this or discussions like this are actually useful in order for us to promote diversity acceptance?
Well, in my personal opinion, I find that there's a lack of controversial opinions that are actually happening. And the only very controversial thing that I heard was from, what was her name again? About the mixed marriage one. That was the actual discussion, and I think that was a good thing if it was further continued. So before I continue further, can I request that we allow more controversial topics to be placed, or should we keep this PG? Because personally, like if you're talking about diversity acceptance, right, we need to touch about politics and the relations of countries themselves. And there's like a lot of things about the different opinions from other races about the other races, which they hide from each other. So, but then again, is it okay if we touch more about that?
I understand that. I do agree with you. There are actually a lot of discrimination events that have been going on. And as I mentioned earlier, because we are actually running out of time, so I have only managed to cover just a few types of discrimination, which are skin discrimination, caste, and also this mixed marriage. And I totally agree with you that response from our friend Ivy just now regarding mixed marriage is indeed one of the things that we should discuss more about. But I can discuss with the organizing committee if it's possible to include such topics in tomorrow's forum, which is cross-culturalism. Is that okay with you?
I mean, it's definitely okay with me, but I just like to encourage like more people to sound out what they know, their own experiences, as this is a forum and we are including like people like us who has experiences from their different respective countries. It's like to reach a real conclusion, we must like be more transparent with each other, especially in terms of diversity acceptance. But yeah, I mean, it would be a good idea it would be a bad idea, but it might be something that might solve something in our discussion. Thank you.
All right, so I totally agree with you, but unfortunately, we're actually lacking of time. And if let's say we started this discussion in the morning, then yes, maybe inshallah we can direct session or discussion to late afternoon, and we can include topics like mixed marriage and so on. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like time has run out. So therefore, that will be our last session for this. So I would like to express my gratitude for all the representatives from each country for your opinions, for your very insightful and interesting explanation regarding every question being asked. So the sharing to me was really, really interesting in exchanging knowledge on diversity acceptance and also discussing any underlying issue in humanity. Although I totally agree with our previous speaker, which stated that there are actually a lot of discrimination events that we need to talk about. But yes, as I mentioned earlier, we don't have time. So I'm afraid this is it. So I hope the audience and I hope all of you take full advantage of this session in learning new things about humanity that can actually make the world become a better place, not just for us, but of course to the future generation. So ladies and gentlemen, before we end our forum, I would like to ask all the participants and representatives from each country to turn on your camera for our photography session. Right, I invite one more time our fellow friends to turn on your camera.
Can I start if everyone is ready? Okay, I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I go to the next page. So please don't turn off the camera, okay? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Next page. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can we have some cheese or peace, love from you guys? 1 for the first page. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Second page. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Another page. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's all.
All right, thank you to all participants and thank you to all committees of HICE. So before leaving the meeting room, please make sure to fill in the checkout box, the checkout Google form that is being shared in front of your screen right now, also in the chat box to complete your registration. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, I conclude our HICD forum, the title Humanity, the Key of Diversity Acceptance. See you all tomorrow night in our next forum entitled Cross-Culturalism. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you, Vivi. Thank you, Hice.
Thank
you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everyone, for cross-culturalism.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Great job, guys. Great job.
Hi, great job. So well done, V. I hope others will enjoy it. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Dr. Ma. Thank you, Dr. Razif.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest.